originally from New York City, but I live in Europe. It's fancy and less competition. I wanted to move to Europe because I wanted to find a husband there, you know? I just felt like if I've met a man named Sandro and he had a lot of foreskin and a little bit of English, we'd really get along. But dating in Europe is hard. It's just as hard as New York City. You would think that, you know, free healthcare and topless beaches would let the love flow, but no, they're suffering out there. In fact, they're suffering so much that I discovered a dating show that's over there in Europe called Naked Attraction. Okay. Coming to America soon. So, okay, I'm going to tell you about this show because it starts out innocently enough, you know? There was this woman, she was the host, and behind her there was 5 colored panels. And behind each of the panels, you could see a silhouette of a woman. So she brings out the contestant, and she's like, hello, what is your name? Robert. Right. And what are you looking for in a woman, Robert? Okay, well, let's start round 1 with the lady triangles. I didn't know what that meant either, but slowly each of these 5 panels started to come up, and you realize that all of these women are totally naked. So the panel starts right above their vaginas, and there it is. Just 5 vaginas in my face. And these aren't the vaginas I'm used to seeing on my laptop late at night, no. These were all shapes and sizes, you know? Big thighs, little thighs, hairy minge, no hair, labia in, labia out. Wow. Kind of empowering as a woman, but really gross as an American, so there was, let me localize it, 5 fannies in my face. And they start going to each one of the fannies because Robert's gonna vote one off. And he stops at one and the host says, do you like this fanny, Robert? And he's like, yes. And she says, why? Too many questions for a man, right? And this guy looks at the fanny and he says, well, it's really neat. Neat? I'm sorry, but in all my years of having sex, I have never known a man to make sexual decisions based upon neatness. But Robert's on TV and he's fucking Mary Poppins, you know? Like, neat? God, one time I had a one-night stand and the guy started to take off his clothes and fold them. Neatly. Wasn't sexy, you know? A guy is about to come and he's like, where should I come, Belinda? And I'm like, tits, ass, and he just folds out a napkin. Neat. Not sexy. So I don't know how many vaginas Robert has seen, but mine's lopsided and has an accent. I don't know where she picked them up from. She's better at languages than me, you know? The last time my vagina was neat, I was 12 years old, which says a lot about Robert, okay? So he votes one of these fannies off, and because it's English, they're really polite. Like, she just comes out and she's like, oh, didn't like my fanny, bye-bye. And then she goes to work the next morning. That's the part that really does my head in, you know? Hey, Carol, how was your evening? It was great. Got voted off because of my fanny. A cup of tea? So then they're down to 4, and it comes up, and then he's looking at their tits. And he votes one because of her areola, you know? Like, ladies, have you ever been complimented on your areola? I asked this question. I was just in Barcelona, and I asked this question, and this lady in this back, this hot fucking Spanish lady, was like, yeah. And I was like, by a guy? She's like, uh-huh. And I was like, by a straight guy? She's like, yeah, I've been complimented. I was like, bitch, can I see your tits after the show? Because I think I just unlocked a new insecurity, you know? I mean, it's Europe, so she did show me her tits after the show. They were great, her areola, amazing. So then he's down to 3, and you would think that a show that starts off with 5 anonymous vaginas would get like less awkward as time goes on, but no. Because now he's down to 3 and they reveal their face. Yes, isn't that so much worse? Like, vote me off because of my labia. You're not going to see that at breakfast every morning. But my face, like, everybody sees that. And then he's down to 2, and he votes one off, and they both speak, and he votes one off based upon their voice. And Robert liked that too much, you know? He was like, I would have fucked you, but then you spoke. And then they both get naked, and they go out on a date. And you might be wondering what it's like when a woman is on the show. I'll give you an example. So a woman comes on the show, the panels come up, and there it is, 5 willies in her face. And her energy was totally different than the male energy. You know, she's going down and she's looking at these penises as if she's choosing her kitchen set for the next 20 years. You know, she's like... And she gets to one and she stops and she's like, I like this one. And the host says, what do you think is behind this willy? And this woman, I'm not even kidding you, she looks at it and she goes, I think he's really emotional. Probably likes cooking or gardening. I really think we're gonna get along. I was like, girl, all I see is 2 saggy balls and some foreskin. But a woman's ability to look at all of that and see her future, that's the reason we still exist as a human race, okay? I know it's gay pride, but give it up for the straight women, okay? We're doing a hard job out there. And this show, Naked Attraction, in England, it's on season 9 in 2025. If you have a VPN, you can go home on YouTube and you can look it up. And all I want to know is, like, what happened to the couples who made it? You know? Like, is there a family out there where a little boy is like, Daddy? How did you meet Mommy? And he's like, well, son, I went on a game show. There were 5 women, but your mom was really neat. Thank you so much, I'm Belinda Filippelli.
Oh yeah, make it loud again. Belinda.